Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown run.
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air here on this Tuesday evening. It's Brett and Scott here with you for a couple of hours. Man, ton to get to and talk about all over the map, from college to pro to there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, we're in the heart of the NCAA tournament right now. Unfortunately for us Auburn fans, we don't have a team in it anymore, but Alabama is in the Sweet 16 for the third time under Nate Oates. And so we'll talk about that, and, we'll take your comments on Facebook, obviously. You can comment away there. You can call us on our line at 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Yep, Scott, good to see you on a Tuesday here. You got, as we go on the air, a little breaking news from Auburn. Mickey Dean, the softball coach, says he will retire at the end of the year. I think we can read between the lines that he was told that, hey, look, you can either say you're going to retire or we're going to force you out. And and if you look at this record at 2-7 in the SEC and 15-9-1, it's going backwards for him. And we got two of the best pitchers in the country.
Heck yeah.
And we're wasting them because we can't score any runs. But don't normally start with softball talk. But, again, Mickey Dean announcing here just a little bit ago that he will be stepping down at the end of the 2024 season.
Well, why not? I mean, the season really just started, but I guess it's going, why not go ahead and go on?
Well, I mean, it couldn't do any worse, right?
I know. Because,
well, here's
how you going to recruit? Go ahead and get some. Go ahead and start searching.
Here's the thing that I look at from this perspective is that I watched 3 or 4 of our better players the last 2 or 3 years leave the program and go play at other SEC schools and come out like Bree Ellis at Arkansas and just come back to Jane B. Moore Field and just rip us to death.
Yeah, I know.
And she was a big time, I want to be at Auburn, big, she was Dylan Cardwell on the softball team.
Right.
And then for her to leave last year, at the end of the year, and then Denver, I can't remember her last name.
Oh, I know.
But she leaves and goes to South Carolina. We've just hemorrhaged a lot of players, and there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of dissension on the team from just the things that I've heard through different avenues and all. I don't know, Scott, but anyway.
I know a grandmother of a player from 2 years ago. She's been gone now 2 years. And, last year was her first year to be gone, so it's the second year. The mama didn't like the situation at all. And she was a pitcher, and he wore her out. She didn't even pitch her senior year because her arm was gone, and just didn't, they were not happy.
Right.
But, I mean, disgruntled parents on every team. But there's been a lot of negative around the team for the past 2 or 3 years.
There has been.
Yeah.
And, again, I think Mickey Dean's had a great record. If you look at what, when he came to Auburn and to replace Clint Myers, Clint Myers, though, took Auburn softball to a level we'd never seen it. And,
in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, well, it wasn't him.
I know.
It's his son.
Yeah.
But, his fault was he didn't cut ties with his son.
Right.
Me and you have sons. If they were coaching with us, I'd like to think if they messed up in their personal life, we would support them. But I'm not going to go – my ship ain't going to sink because they're adults at that point.
Right.
If they were a kid, it's a different deal. But, he defended his son, and it cost him his job.
He's 40 years old, wasn't he? 38?
Older than that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you defend your kid, and you got to exit stage. Yeah. It just seems like when we get somebody in position, and Clint Myers is one of the best softball coaches ever. He coached at Arizona State, brought that over to the SEC, won the tournament, was one game away from winning a national title against Oklahoma. We were right there. And it's just kind of fallen from grace since then. So, but anyway, that little breaking news there for everybody if you didn't see that. Also, sticking with Auburn, you saw Katie Johnson today go in the portal.
Jumping in the portal.
A lot of people texted me and said, I didn't know he had another year.
I know.
But
COVID
the COVID stuff has everything still backlogged. But, you know, I look, glad to have KD on the team. He's definitely a one-of-a-kind from the way he plays. I think he gave his heart and soul to Auburn when he transferred from Georgia. I remember when he was at Georgia, we went over there and he shot our eyeballs out. And I was like, dang, you know, and then he ends up at Auburn. He had a good career. But I think it's time to move on. It's played its way out. Auburn's given him a lot, and I think he's given Auburn a lot. And, you know, we wish him nothing but the best moving forward. You know, and we'll see kind of how things play out.
I just hate the last play in my mind of him is he gets the rebound and takes off and loses the ball at half court.
I know.
I just, come on.
Right.
Yeah, that one play is where that's my last memory of him playing.
Actually, he had the last shot of the game to try that three-point shot.
I cut it off by then. I was
Yeah.
so frustrated.
Well, I guess we can start there since this is the first time we've been on the air with Sports Blitz since Auburn fell out of the tournament.
Exited.
And, you know, you can say what you want to say. You know, they just didn't get it done. And, you know, it started from a Chad Baker-Mazzara 3 minutes in the game, elbow to the chest of a player. And, you know, look, and people can say that shouldn't have – and I don't think it solely contributed or caused Auburn to lose the game because Auburn had a couple double-digit leads in the second half, and they gave it away.
Yeah.
But, Scott, you know as well as anybody, from a mental standpoint, Auburn wasn't the same team.
No.
We got out to a 12-4 start, looked like we were going to run them out of there, and it just – you could see the air deflate because it's like, well, crap, you know, one of our top players – it's just from a mental psyche thing. Auburn never could get it all together and get it on track.
Right. Another thing, you know, we got so many foul calls, and you watch these other games, and there'll be.
Well, what about the A&M Houston game? A&M went to the free throw line 48 times, only hit 26 free throws. If they hit their free throws, they beat Houston easily.
Well, heck, if Yale would have hit their free throws early in the second half, we wouldn't have been in the game.
I know.
Because they missed
But
about
then it
10.
comes down. Then it comes down to us at the free throw line.
We missed at the end.
We missed
too.
5.
I know.
KD missed 1. Trey missed 2.
Broom.
And then Denver Jones missed 2.
Yeah. It's just it was just so frustrating.
Got the rebound twice too.
I know.
And couldn't put the ball in.
Yeah.
So
mentally, they weren't there. And
well, let's. I'm on. You know, we've already covered this on Auburn Blitz the last couple of days. Just your thoughts on how the season ended and what you think Auburn needs to do moving forward. Look, I've prefaced this on Auburn Blitz. We're 27-8. We had a great season. Won the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
But look, you're not beyond criticism and evaluation of what you got to do to get better.
you know, Stephen Pearl came out today, was kind of fussing at
See, and
the
that's a bad
fans.
look, man.
You know,
it's just a bad
and I
look.
understand what he's saying because they did so well, but you can't
Yeah.
be all in their corner one game and then they go out there and lay an egg. Oh, we got to get. It was a good thing he's glad KD's going. Glad you know. I heard Holloway may be jumping in there.
I
too.
know. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Well, that's been rumored for about a
Yeah.
month and a half.
Right. So you got to look back, and it's a. I mean, how many times do we win 27 games?
Well, under Bruce Pearl since 19, we've won 25 plus 4 times.
I know, but before Bruce,
no, not many.
no, none at all.
Well,
so, I mean,
in 99, when I was a senior at Auburn, Auburn was the only time we'd ever been the #1 seed, and we were 29-4.
you know,
and
you and I are two of the biggest Auburn fans out there, but I get mad at Auburn fans. Like when we won the SEC tournament, for the days leading up to the big tournament, every time I turned on social media, we're great, we're going to win it all. No, I mean, you got to play. You can't just go out there and think you're going to win.
Well, what I saw more than that was all the complaining that we're getting sent to Spokane, Washington. Who cares?
Yeah, you got to go
just
play.
go play the game.
Go play.
You know, don't dwell on for 48 hours from Sunday all the way through Monday. It was coaches and players and fans.
Right.
complaining that you got to go out to Spokane, Washington. Well, Alabama did too.
Yep.
And so did UAB. And, you know, at some point in time, you just got to say, we're a 4 seed. We're playing a 13 seed. We just got to go be who we are. We just won the SEC. And just go play like it. And just quit complaining about stuff. Did you see Jake Crane's rant on Twitter? Look, and he said it, and he prefaced. He said, I know there's going to be a lot of Auburn fans pissed off what I'm going to say, but nobody's a bigger Auburn guy than Jake Crane. His dad was Kurt Crane.
Right.
You know, he's Auburn through and through and then some.
Right.
But he makes good points. He said, look, it is time to quit making excuses. It's time for the coaches and the players. He said, the only people letting Auburn down right now are the coaches and players. He said, the fans show up, the donors show up, the school shows up. Everything is there for championships, and all we do is complain and come up with excuses from a coaching and a player standpoint of why we didn't get something done.
Right.
He's look, I know you can't just make a general evaluation like that, and I know not all of that's true, but a lot of that's true in what he's saying.
Right. All right. There's a lot of, but not just Auburn complaints. I was watching stuff yesterday, day before yesterday. Caitlin, the girls, Iowa.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
I mean, what she did on the court. I mean, she's the number one, the leading scorer ever, boys and girls.
Right.
And she tells some fans to shut the F up.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, what in the world? Just play ball.
Well, there was another girl from Stanford that told the official to do that, walking off the floor.
Just play.
And then we've seen Angel Reese at LSU have some antics. We've seen all these. And again, you know, I think it is a reflection of our society. And right now it's an entitlement deal that you need me way more than I need you.
Right.
And that I'm the program. I'm the reason you're successful. And look, I get it. I understand that players are the reason you have a team, but we've lost all sense of respect and how to earn our way, so to say. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Chad Baker-Mazara and Nick Pringle aren't thankful for opportunities to play for their teams, but it just actions speak louder than words a lot of times.
Heck yeah. I mean, they're out there, and Caitlin is she's the number one player in the league as far as scoring and everything. And use that platform for something good. Don't sit there and do that.
Well, Chad Baker-Mazara, you know, don't elbow, you know, and we get in a debate about was it a flagrant 1 or 2? Who cares?
Right.
And when you do something stupid, you put your fate in the hands of an official to make a decision. If you don't want to do that, then don't commit the act.
I mean, if the guy had been hitting him 18 times and it was
and it wasn't a throat punch,
5 minutes left in the game, and he's still doing it.
It wasn't a throat punch.
But it was early in the game.
It was he reached back. I mean, but you know, the thing I was disappointed in with Bruce and even Steven is they made out like, well, he was the victim.
Right.
Well, no. Chad Baker-Mazara has been doing that for about 2 months, really, during SEC play, more than any time.
Right.
And now I know he got a tech early in the season for cussing somebody in Spanish. And I guess he didn't think the official knew Spanish, but apparently he did. But, again, a lot to talk about tonight. We're just getting started here on the Blitz. Get your calls in at 256-234-6221 if you'd like to talk about anything, but you can comment away there on Facebook Live like a lot of you do throughout our shows each week. Up against the break, stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep this in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So
What's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or Montgomery 334-265-1813. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live here on this Tuesday. Thanks to JR Sports Bar and Grill, awesome food here in Alexander City. If you haven't made your way to JR's and you're watching this program from wherever you are, if you're through Alex City, it's a must. Anybody that's new to town and they go, hey, where should we eat? It's almost an automatic response. Hey, you need to go to JR's.
My sister's family comes from Killen, Alabama, by Florence.
There you go.
They have to eat there at least once.
Well, Kirby Smart was here last year.
Yep.
In the gym, in between games, and he asked a bunch of people, hey, where do I need to go eat? And they said, well, JR's. And he went over and I don't know what I think he had some wings and stuff.
Yeah.
But came back over to the gym, he's like, that was a good recommendation. He said, I'll be going back over there.
He got good wing sauce.
So I guess if it's good for a national championship, Coach, it's good for anybody.
I was trying to give my sister props, and you throw the national championship coach in
your
there.
sister, she carries a lot of weight,
just
too.
as important.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But, that just tells you that from Killen, Alabama, from Athens, Georgia.
That's right.
From Milwaukee, Wisconsin to wherever.
That's right.
JR's, look, I've said this a long time. Greg Benson's a good buddy of mine, been one of my best friends for a long time. When he travels fishing, he likes to go eat wings wherever he goes to try them. He said, and he's been to California, to Texas, to Florida, to New York, to Ohio. He's been all over this country. He said, still has not found any wings, in his opinion, better than JR.
Right.
So it's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
Sunshine Heating and Air, good friend Kevin Kill. What a great business. They do all of my work at my house when I need heating and air at work. I hope I don't need any anytime soon. He does such a good job that you don't have to use it. But when you do, you want to call on him at 256-825-4849. Been a big part of our program for a long time. Going back to the tournament, let's flip the script and talk about Alabama. Alabama has won 2 games. They knock off Charleston, and then they knock off Grand Canyon in just a rough game the other night. And, it was just one of those, Alabama scoring it wasn't there, but they played defense. They played defense that night better than maybe they've played all year, Scott, and they punched their ticket to the Sweet 16 for the third time under Nate Oates. Hey, look, and Alabama just gave Nate Oates a raise. The level of basketball in the state between Alabama and Auburn right now is the best I think it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
But, you got to tip your hat. Guys won 4 SEC titles, 3 Sweet 16s now, top recruiting classes. Hey, he's getting it done.
He basically has a brand new team this year from last year.
Correct.
He has Sears and maybe one other, and that was it.
Lost Bediako, lost Brandon Miller, lost a lot of their top players, and and they find themselves really back in the same position they were this time last year.
Barkley said something about Grand Canyon. Said that was the stupidest game he'd ever seen, or something like that.
Well, the second half, Kenny and Clark all said, "I don't know that they ran a play the whole second
Clark
half."
Said, I certainly couldn't dissect one. I was like, yeah, you could. It was just watching.
Well, and I think, and David and I talked about this on Monday. I think sometimes, Grand Canyon won 30 games. And sometimes you can change up what you're doing and what you've done because you think the matchup's not good for you. So you got to change what you do. And I think they made a mistake. I mean, of course, they lost the game. But to me, they had a lot of wide opens. They didn't make shots when they had a chance. Thought they defended well against Alabama. Alabama was off from outside, which gave them an opportunity, but just not a very good offensive team. But, man, interesting matchup Thursday at 8:39, tip-off. Alabama and North Carolina will be going at one another. North Carolina, a number 1 seed in this tournament, but by no stretch unbeatable.
No, not at all. It wouldn't be an upset to me if Alabama.
Well, let me tell you how ESPN Matchup Predictor has this game. They've got North Carolina 50.4 to Alabama 49.6.
Yeah. Wow.
That tells you all you need to know.
Right.
It is a toss of a coin.
It's a toss-up, yeah.
And, look, we can sit here and break everything down. If Alabama didn't have Mark Sears, obviously we know that. Same with Janai Broom not being on Auburn's team. It'd be a mark different. But, man, Mark Sears is such a difference maker for that team. He creates so much, just like the guard for Houston.
Right.
They don't necessarily have to be scoring, but they create so much attention, and they draw double and triple teams so much that it leaves other players wide open.
Well, he's very talented and he's very smart. And he knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows he picks the first part of the game. Sometimes you're like, well, he's not that good. By the time the game is going well,
he's got 25 points.
He's already read the defense. He knows what they're going to do. And but this has just popped up on my phone. Calipari's not going anywhere.
Well, I'm not shocked.
Yeah,
by
just
that.
popped up.
Yeah. Again, and I hate to say this, but Bruce's record in postseason the last 3 years no better than his.
No,
I mean, both going out in the first or second round of the tournament.
Right.
Neither making deep runs. Auburn had the year 19, but really since 19, that was 5 years ago, Scott. I mean, you can keep holding on to past and neglect the future. And again, I'm not trying to throw stones by no means.
Right.
But that was 5 years ago, and you hadn't, so to say, peed a drop since then. I hate to use that kind of language, but that's really what's happened. I mean, you won a SEC title in the tournament now, and I'm not saying it wasn't a successful year, but you're a 4 seed for a reason. You don't need to go out against a 13 seed Yale in the first round of the tournament. You don't need to go out in the second round against Miami a couple years ago when you got Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler.
That's right.
So we've underachieved. Now
in the tournament
we beat Iowa last year.
Yeah.
But then we turned around and actually we were either even or only down 2 to Houston at half, and then we went on an 8 or 9 minute scoring drought, and they just ran away with it. But but Alabama will take on, and here's the next hurdle for them. Alabama has won the SEC 4 times under Nate Oates, and they've done really well. Got into 3 Sweet 16s. Can't win this game. This has been the this has been the hurdle.
I'd put $1 on it says they're going to win this game. I just have that feeling.
And get them to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
And then they're just one game away from the Final Four.
Yeah.
So, and it just tells you, last year's team had high expectations. You had Brandon Mill. They ran up on San Diego State and a veteran team. It knocked them out in the Sweet 16. It would be almost fitting that this team gets to the Final Four with, like, nobody knew half the team. And you had one guy coming back, and you're like, well, crap, they're not – we just want to be competitive. And then now you end up – that's just basketball, man. Right. That's how it ends up for a lot of teams. Right. So, North Carolina 29-7 on the season. They had an early exit in the ACC tournament, but they've looked pretty good their first two games. Looked like they were worthy of a number one seed. So, look, be an opportunity for Alabama. Nate Oates and this team. I don't know if they'll have Reitzel back. He had another concussion. That's 2 or 3 now he's had in the last month.
Yeah, their loose cannon is Pringle. They can't keep him out of trouble.
Well, he got a tech the other night and was in danger of getting another one, and just trying to calm him. So we'll see. That Alabama-North Carolina game should be fun to watch. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll break down the other 7 games here in the Sweet 16 on Thursday and Friday night of this week. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
There's a new standard for the marine industry on Lake Martin, being set by Momentum Marine Lake Martin. Momentum Marine is located at the Blue Creek Bridge on Highway 49 South. Stop by soon and meet Les and the staff. While you're here, take a look at our extensive line of boats. Momentum Marine carries Crest, Manitou, Centurion, Monterey, and Robalo boats. Whatever your boating needs or dreams, the pros in Momentum will help you find the perfect boat. Be sure to ask about our brand new rental fleet. Stop by Momentum soon and experience the difference. Let Momentum Marine show you how to experience freedom on the water.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Get on over to JR Sports Bar and Grill at 7:30 out there. A lot of people eat dinner this time of night. I don't. It's a little bit late for me.
I've already eaten, yeah.
I don't eat at 7:30. I left a board meeting, so I haven't eaten anything yet tonight, so it's going to be maybe not much for me tonight. I don't need it anyway. Going back to talking about the NCAA tournament, Clemson and Arizona. Clemson makes their way to a Sweet 16. They'll take on the number 2 seed, Arizona.
I watched them early in the season. The first 2 or 3 games they were on ESPN or something. They got some goofy-looking boys on that team, but they can play. I mean, they don't look like a basketball team, but they can play.
Well, they'll have their hands full with Arizona, number 2 seed. 80% chance ESPN matchup.
Oh, yeah, they won't win the game, but I mean, just
you don't know that. Who knows that, man? I mean, it can be one of those nights.
I watched them. I was like, wow, they're good.
Hey, Arizona's only a 7-point favorite in that game. All right, San Diego State and UConn. This one's a little surprising. UConn is a 10.5-point favorite. Not that I think UConn's the class of the tournament. They're the defending champs. This is a rematch of the national championship game last year.
That's right.
A lot of people don't remember that. San Diego State and UConn in the national title. So
that's why Auburn people were complaining about all the different Final Four teams we were supposed to have to go through if we kept winning. You had those 2 teams out there.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, no, but you got to win the first game first.
You can't get there if you don't. I mean, Bruce said that in a lot of different interviews about the tournament. He said, you don't win a national championship when you get to the Final Four. You win a national championship when you tip off on the first game.
Right.
They all count the same.
Right.
You got to win them one at a time. And so
the players didn't believe that.
Right. The other game, we talked about Alabama, North Carolina. The other game is a 3-2 matchup, Illinois and Iowa State. That game will tip at 9 o'clock. These are the Thursday night games. By the way, Iowa State's a 58% chance to win that game, according to the ESPN matchup predictor. So, all right, who moves on? Arizona, UConn, Iowa State, and drumroll, North Carolina or Alabama?
As bad as I hate to say this, I think Bama wins.
They're playing good.
They're playing good.
Well, North Carolina's playing good, too.
I know, but
we'll see.
We'll see. Good for Clark James. It's just good for him.
It is, yeah.
What an experience.
50% chance for both, basically.
Yeah, that's
according to this.
It is a coin toss.
North Carolina's a 4.5-point favorite in that game. All right, let's move on to Friday's matchups. At 6:09, it'll be NC State and Marquette. Watch this Marquette team. This Marquette team is really good. Very impressed. They're giving them, this NC State team's kind of got a little Cinderella run going.
They do.
They've won, 9 games in a row or 8 games? I know they won 5 in a row in the ACC tournament. Now they've won 2. But I think they had won 2 games going into the tournaments. I think they're up to 9 in a row. This team's on a heater right now. So this is the teams you got to be worried about.
Right.
Marquette, a number 2 seed, but this NC State team got a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah.
Found their way. Nobody gave them a chance. They had to win the tournament to get in the tournament.
Right.
And now here they are in the Sweet 16.
Just win, baby.
Sometimes you just got to open the window a little bit, give just a crack to let a team in. Purdue flexed its muscles the other night.
Yeah.
Just showed that they're not going to get Fairleigh Dickinson again this year.
No,
they play a hot Gonzaga team.
They do, but they got a beast. That big old
7-4.
He's just. You can't stop him.
Zach Edey, man, he's. That guy though. He just goes about his business. Never say anything. There's no toning. He just gets about 15 to 18 rebounds a game, scores about 20 points a game, and blocks about 5 or 6 shots a game. I mean, he's the unanimous player of the year. I mean, there's a reason he's the player of the year.
He may suffer a little bit in the pros just because I don't think he's mean. I don't think he's mean enough, maybe, but he's just huge.
He's a big guy, man.
He's just huge.
And he's got a good shot. He don't miss free throws, man.
He's fundamentally
He gets to the free throw line and really is very good. But they just laid it. I mean, put 106 on Utah State the other night. So not that Utah State was some world beater, but they did take it to them. A 5.5-point favorite there for Purdue. I'm telling you, Gonzaga's playing good basketball. This is not the Gonzaga the last 2 or 3 years.
They had the 3 40-year-old players on it.
That's right.
Forever.
That's right. But
Timmy.
Oh yeah, a great player.
Oh,
just next game is Duke Houston, and This could be interesting. I think
that's a toss-up too, isn't it?
Right, it is. Yeah. You look at the way this game kind of breaks down, but Houston's actually got them as a 76.5% chance to win this game over. Right. You don't normally see that over a Duke team. But Duke's a 4 seed in this tournament. But Houston, they were number 1 seed last year. We played them in the second round. They're number 1 seed again. They got one of the best point guards in the country. So we'll see how that one rides. And then the final game of Friday will be Creighton, Tennessee. And Tennessee, man, they finally get to the Sweet 16 under Rick Barnes.
I'm going to be pulling for Tennessee. That hurts too, but I'm on SEC.
Creighton's good, man.
I know.
57% chance to win that game for Tennessee. Let's go to the Mortgage Pro Eric McKinley hotline. Welcome in our first call. What's up?
Yes, I was going to ask, are you very familiar with some of the Auburn teams in the late 70s?
I mean, yeah, for a little bit. Don't listen to your TV. Listen to the phone.
Okay. Do you remember? I thought this was a real talented team. I don't think they accomplished a lot, but Eddie Johnson, Stan Peckett, Bobby Caddage, Mike Mitchell, and Miles Patrick.
Yeah.
What do you think about that team?
That was a good team. Mike Mitchell definitely was a good player. Again, Auburn has had good basketball teams throughout the years, just not consistently. They've played. You need to get you some go juice over there. You don't yawn on TV.
I'm trying to cover it up.
You don't yawn on TV.
I was scratching my nose.
But anyway, I don't know, Scott. Tell me about those late 70s.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, it means that you're older
in 1978, I was 12 years old.
But you should have known about Auburn basketball.
A little bit, but not really a whole lot.
What did you think about those teams?
You asking me?
Yes, sir. The caller.
Yeah. I always followed Kentucky, and I'd come to Auburn and watch Kentucky play them.
Right.
And I thought, that year Kentucky beat them, but like Eddie Johnson, he was just like a rocket going up down the court, and they were real good, but they just didn't seem to play together. I think maybe Davis was a coach, and that group sort of underachieved.
Well, basketball was not a huge focus in Auburn in the late 70s and even before that. But I
looked up the 1978-79 team, and they were 13-16, only 5-13 in SEC play.
They weren't. Eddie Johnson's pictures, and they've hung his pictures around forever.
Oh, yeah.
You recognize his name. But, we really didn't have any good press at Auburn basketball till probably when I was in high school.
But Mike Mitchell's a big guy. He's 6'8",
When Chuck Person came.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden were relevant for a few years. And then when I was there in college in the late 80s, 87 and 88, we were good. Made tournaments that year. We got beat out 2 years in a row. We got beat out by the eventual champion.
Story of our life, right?
I know, yeah.
Well, what do you think about Bruce Pearl?
I think he's an outstanding coach. I think we've seen the best run consistently of Auburn basketball ever under Bruce Pearl. And, again, nobody's throwing stones. He wins. I think he averages 22 or 23 wins a season, which is always a benchmark when you get over 20 wins in college basketball. But he's been on the higher end, the 25, 26, 27, 28 win mark. So he got us to the Final Four. He'll always go down as that. Now we want to go again.
Yeah, here's the thing. He is such a good ambassador, and he's a good cheerleader, and he gets you all pumped up. And we win these. We go win the SEC tournament, and he gets you all pumped up. And one game you screw up, and then the air is let out of your cell. Then people start complaining. Well, no, he got us there. He's the best thing we've had in forever. He can run for governor, I think.
Yeah. Well, I watched him talk after they got beat, and it really hurt him to lose that game.
Yeah, it hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I watched Calipari after their loss, Thursday, and it didn't seem like that game. It didn't bother him whether they lost or not.
Well, he did say, Calipari did say it was that one was probably one of the toughest ones that he's ever had to deal with in the locker room. I just to kind of give you a little perspective, I've gone back and looked since you've been on the phone from 76 to 79, and best record Auburn had was the 76-77 year when they were 13-13. They had losing records the next 2 years. Right. So,
what do you think they were? You think they were undercoached?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I wasn't around back then, so I couldn't really give a perspective on that. But I look at it from a standpoint of they did have some good players. But you know what? Auburn's had, and other teams have had good players on teams before. And, one of Bruce Pearl's teams, the 2020 team, or the 21 team actually had Sharif Cooper at point guard, had a good lineup, and we had a losing record that year. Now, that was a weird year for us. Social distancing, half the crowd was not there, and it's just a weird deal. But just because you have good players doesn't mean you always translate into good seasons. But you're right. I mean, if that's the case, a lot of times you do look toward the coach.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was just going to ask you to see what you thought. I appreciate you taking my call.
Appreciate your call. Thank you, sir. You can call us as well, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. We'll go ahead and take another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone. Couple segments left in hour number one here on Sports Blitz Live. You can call us at 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. You can comment away here on Facebook Live. A lot of you do that, especially on Auburn Blitz every single day. And we appreciate that. Love the interaction. Got some comments rolling in. Just now looking at these. John said, going to be interesting to see who Bama replaces Sears with. Man, he's a stud, and he's an older guard, and those are priceless in the tournament. And guard play wins championships, wins you games in March, and that's kind of where Auburn's been deficient the last few years. They've had a great team, and they're hard to beat in Neville Arena. We've had our struggles on the road, just like most everybody does in SEC play, and but in March, guards win games, and we haven't had very good guard play.
Our turnovers were extremely high in that game. We had, almost 20 turnovers.
Right.
When we lost. I'm way more than we normally do. We normally have like 8 or 9, and we had way double digits.
Ty wants to know about what we think about Vanderbilt's new coach. Really, to be honest with you, Ty, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to that. I knew that they were going to get rid of Stackhouse. John follows that up saying that Vanderbilt hadn't been really good in basketball in a while. And, Vanderbilt used to be pretty doggone good in basketball. You used to see them. They were kind of a regular in the NCAA tournament, and they've struggled for a while. If I'm not mistaken, Clemson's comprised of older players.
They are.
Look, you're seeing that theme, like he said, recurring theme, get teams deep in the tournament. Older teams playing these young one-and-done guys that just – from a maturity level, they get knocked around, and you watched the other night, the kid for Kentucky, he'd been played Shepherd. He played good all year, and he looked like he was scared in that game. Wouldn't take a shot.
Right.
So, sometimes the moment's a little bit too big for you. John said he still does not see a team making the Final Four from the SEC, so he's stuck to that. He said that all the way back when the SEC tournament started. He said, I don't think – the last team to make a Final Four from the SEC was who?
It was us.
19.
Yeah.
Hey, moving on to 5 years. We got a good conference, but this Sweet 16 round's been knocking everybody out. So
see, we have a good we are good. We have a fun conference. We have good matchups during the season.
We have a tough conference.
It's tough, but you get in the tournament – you come up against some of these teams, these mid-Atlantic teams and stuff. They play good basketball.
Yeah, Roger was following up with a caller. He said back in the 70s, both Auburn and Alabama struggled. John said, they were frequently in the NIT. Mike Carlisle wants to send a War Eagle. Of course, you stick with you. Now the portal, now the fun begins of reshaping your team for next year. I think we saw an evaluation from a couple of insiders today that feel like Broome will there's more of a chance he comes back than not. An NIL deal on the table to keep him at Auburn. Randy brought this up on Auburn Blitz today. His size and the way he plays the game, he's not really a fit for the NBA. So we saw Baycott for North Carolina come back this year.
Make money where you can.
He can get a deal. Maybe increase. He's an all-SEC player. He's already proven that.
Right.
But if he were to come back, you get Chaney Johnson back, Denver Jones back. You got a chance to Chris Moore to even come back.
Cardwell can come back.
Dylan Cardwell will come back, I feel like.
Yeah.
You add Tahad Pettiford and Ja'Kai Howard coming in this recruiting class. If you were to keep Aiden Holloway, that'd be – the guy was all freshman.
Donaldson.
And you got Trey Donaldson. You're putting a pretty doggone good team back out on the floor.
You are.
A lot of depth. So, again, getting guys to stay is just as big a win as getting somebody new.
Right.
And then, of course, you got to go out and you got to fill some needs in the portal.
Right.
Got to go get maybe a couple four guys, maybe two more four guys, and then maybe a strong point, to go with what we got.
Right.
So, we'll see.
Got to have a
KD's already gone.
You got to have a go-to shooter. We've not had that this year.
And just because you go in the portal don't mean you got to leave.
No.
But I do think KD leaves. I think maybe that's a mutual thing between him and
I
Brooks.
think he sees what may be coming down the road.
And I didn't even mention Chad Baker-Mazara, and I think he'll be back.
Yeah,
too.
he'll be back.
I mean, it's a pretty doggone good team.
And Baker-Mazara can play. He's got to control.
He's got to be in control. Right. I mean, so a lot of things to follow over the next few weeks, and then when Bama's out, whenever that is, he'll have to do the same thing again.
He started over this year with 2 players.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, like this powerful all-new GMC Sierra 1500 SLT, now available with up to $13,000 off. Purchase the roomy GMC Terrain SLT discounted up to $8,750 off, and the GMC Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive discounted up to $7,000 off. Enjoy no payments till summertime at Glenn Smith GMC. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot. We're on the way.
Get ready to smile.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
It's truck season at Sarah Automotive. New Honda Ridgelines, $349 a month. Ford Rangers, $357 a month. Nissan Frontiers, $379 a month. And Chevrolet Silverados, $399 a month. At Sarah Automotive. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. It's truck season at Sarah Honda, Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Nissan, and Sarah Chevrolet.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating Air. I want to shift over and talk a little football for a second. All right, so we've already seen Caden Proctor for Alabama. He left after Saban retired, went to Iowa, is already coming back now in the portal. Rumored that Caleb Downs is going to leave Ohio State, possibly, and come back. Mm-hmm. Well, listen to this. Rumor now that Quinshon Judkins, who left Ole Miss to go to Ohio State, is looking to come back to Ole Miss now. What is going on, man? I mean, well, but I get it. No, I get it. But the problem is you just leave and go and then come back. And like James called in the other night, he said, where's everybody keeping up with? These kids aren't in school, man.
No, how do they go to class? They don't.
Well, they're not going to class.
No, they're not.
So it just adds to the mockery of what's going on in the sport right now.
Right. It's just it's out of control, and
accountability, Scott.
Yeah.
You make a decision. Okay, you've made your decision. There is no coming back. You're there. So
that's on the coaches too, to let them come back. I mean, why?
So keeping an eye on that in the next couple of weeks, the possibility of just players deciding to ship out and then ship back within 2 months. So,
well, it's all about me. It's all about me. They've been taught that from the time they were in.
How did we allow the best sport in the history of the world to be ruined? I mean, literally. We talk about this all the time. How did we allow the best sport in the history of the world to be ruined? College football was the most fun. And I know things went on under the table, and we complained about it, and that was part of the fun. You're accusing everybody of being, but everybody was doing it.
Eric Dickerson's going like, what?
SMU's like, man.
I know.
but that's, we've ruined, and I say we, because I guess we've all bought into this thing, but the NCAA just destroyed the best sport in the world.
Right. Well, it's not just happening in football. It's happening. Football is probably the most impacted right now because it's got more players and it's the most money. That's where the money is.
Yeah, no doubt.
And golly, and these kids are, and we're part of the problem because our generation spoil kids.
All right, I had somebody tell me today though. They said, I don't know why I'm still buying season tickets to, I won't name the college, I won't name who it was, but now buying these tickets, the only reason I'm doing it is for my kids because they still like to go. But they looked at me and said, I've lost my passion for that sport, and I've lost that passion. He said, I'd still pull for my team, but I've lost that passion for my team. And he said, I didn't think I'd ever say that because it's one of the things I enjoyed the most about life was college football. I loved it.
Right.
Look forward to it. He said it's just not the same anymore.
Well, I know several people that give a lot of money to our favorite school, Auburn, have pulled back because they just lost it. They're just
and see now all you do
put out with it
is hear coaches and boosters and all asking for everybody to give more and more.
More and more.
Well, and it's never stops.
Right.
And so never enough. And
right.
And so you're trying to have the best facilities. You're trying to give the best NIL deals, and you're bleeding out the people that are your supporters. And,
right.
I know this guy is a big supporter of a team. And, when those guys decide they want to stop putting their money into that school, man, it's going to change things.
Well, the common person can't afford to put that kind of money into it, and the common person can't afford season tickets anymore, basically, because they're so expensive, and it just you lose a lot of the passion for it for sure. But we true fans, we stick in there, and we want to see them win, but it's just harder and harder to get behind. Like Friday night when we lost, I was so mad, and then I'm like, why am I letting that bother me that bad?
Well, because you're passionate.
Because you want them to win.
You grew up, and they're your team. I mean, that's part of – you do know where that word fan comes from, right?
I know.
It comes from fanatic.
Right.
You're fanatic about your team. And
right.
That's why you're called a fan. And that's what makes the sport so good. The fans are the reason that you have a sport.
I'm that fan that, on YouTube TV, you go back and watch every game. You flag it and they'll record it. The games that we win, I go back and watch them. You think I've gone back and watched that game from the Yale game? I hadn't watched one.
I'm not watching that.
I hadn't watched 1 minute of it.
I'm not watching that again.
I'm going to go back and do it.
Once is enough for me. I don't have to see that anymore. But, again, John comes in with a comment. He said, it's what some in politics want. Somewhat deep discussion, but that's what I'm seeing and have unfortunately been seeing the last few years in my lengthy time on God's green earth.
Yeah.
I mean, look. You're looking at the government now trying to regulate.
Right.
Now, that you talk about going from screwed up, the more screwed up.
Right.
And, I applaud the Big Ten and the SEC for trying to create this advisory council because the NCAA has literally just turned the other cheek. And they've decided to wash their hands.
That's right. They're Pilot. They wash their hands.
Exactly. That's who they are. Well, they represent Pilot.
Right.
That's a good comparison of who they are.
Right.
And so, but a no response is a response.
Sure it is.
So you've allowed the Wild West to be created, and now this council, whatever they decide, and of course the Big Ten and the SEC have all the power, the leaders are going to create a new set of rules, and you know what? They're going to have to walk some of this back.
Right.
And, the ones that got grandfathered in and got it, good, congratulations.
Good for them.
But, moving forward, the players are going to have a choice. They can either play by the rules or just not play.
Right.
And, you want to talk about leverage, and that's in the business world, who's got the leverage. Well, both have leverage. The players are the reason people are coming to watch, right? But without the team and the university, players have nowhere to play.
That's right.
So both have got to come up with a happy medium here. You can't make all this money you want if we're not around anymore.
Right.
So it's just going to take very skilled leaders and business people to sit down in a room and do what's fair for everybody involved.
How many of these football players are actually going to class, like we said a while ago?
When was the last time you heard of somebody being academically ineligible?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
But Bruce said, he was talking about the other day they're having to leave. He said we couldn't leave early like we wanted to because some of the guys had classes. Well, it sounds like we're going to class at Auburn on the basketball team, and maybe that's a good thing. But these football teams, all these kids are going back and forth.
Well, you can't go to class when you're bouncing back and forth between colleges.
Exactly.
You got to be enrolled, right?
Right. You got to be enrolled. That's right. Yeah.
Again, it's not what you and I grew up watching, and our parents grew up watching, and the sport that everybody loved, and it's still the logo on the helmet or the number on the helmet. It's still the same color jerseys, but it's not the same.
Brent Fullwood said, "Hold my beer. I'll show y'all." He didn't go to class.
Well, ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt about it. Again, I'm not saying everybody's got to be a Rhodes Scholar, but they've totally diminished student athlete. It's not.
That's right.
It's just pro ball now.
Yeah.
So it's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
When driving, wear a seatbelt, not a filter. What? Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air has teamed up for the 4th year with the Food Bank of East Alabama and Montgomery Area Food Bank in an effort to reduce the high percentage of food insecurity within the Montgomery and Auburn communities. For every new Dixie Cares Plan membership that is purchased, Dixie will be donating 7 meals to partnered food banks. Last year alone, Dixie donated 13,356 meals. Our goal for 2024 is 15,000. Thank you for choosing Dixie.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Gorey at Gorey's Furniture. Come join us for the Madness of March. Come join us here at Gorey's Furniture. Make a purchase, shoot from the line, 5, 10 to 15. That's % discount off your total ticket. So come join us. Let's have fun. Everyone's a winner. Everyone will save. Come join us for the Madness of March, and that's only at Gorey's Furniture.
When driving, stay sober, not stoned. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live here, hour number 2. Look, we're not a news. We talk sports here, but man, woke up this morning. That was terrible.
I know it. God,
I mean,
that's the first thing I saw.
Right, I turned the news on, and the bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge. You know the historic meaning behind that bridge, don't you? Why it's named Francis Scott Key?
I don't know that.
Because that area of that river is supposedly where Francis Scott Key watched the bombardment of the fort. And he wrote the
ramparts and all that.
He wrote the Star Spangled Banner from that area.
I've seen that a couple of times.
Well, I mean, you should know.
I should know that. I should know that.
You should know that's why that bridge was named the Francis Scott Key
I
Bridge.
knew that Francis Scott Key wrote the song.
I knew you knew that.
Yeah, but I didn't know that's where it was.
But that's where.
Wow.
Was it Fort McHenry?
Maybe been. Yeah. That's good.
Thought you
Somebody Google that. Somebody. Google
I'm
that.
a history, but I think it's Fort McHenry.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but anyway, that I do know that they said that that's where he was when he wrote the Star Spangled Banner. But anyway, a little tidbit of history for you. But that bridge, man, that shipping container ship hit that pylon, man, and it fell like Tinker Toys.
They were saying how many billions of dollars of merchandise and freight, 80 billion on that one ship.
No, 80 billion came through that port. During last year.
Okay, they're talking about how much was on that one.
No, they said that. I mean, yeah, they were
was a lot of stuff on that one
but
ship.
80 billion comes through that port, or came through that port last year in goods in and out of that port. So it's a major thoroughfare. They've got.
Yeah.
Hey, and they have confirmed that the only people that were on that bridge was that road crew.
Right. Everybody else got off.
Everybody else, there were no moving cars.
It's fortunate it was at
1:30 in the morning.
If you can be fortunate, but 1:30 in the morning. If it had been 6 o'clock in the morning,
oh man,
it'd have been ugly.
They've been back-to-back cars on there.
You'd have seen splashes everywhere, and you notice you didn't see any of that other than
right. Well, it was so
bridge.
dark and everything too. But just thoughts and prayers with that, man. Just hate to wake up in the morning and see something that terrible. But they're having to sift through all that, and but yeah, just wanted to kind of mention that because it is worthy. Some other things going on. Have you been following the Shohei Ohtani, L.A. Dodgers, and the interpreter? Hey, look, there's a lot of people out there saying, all right, you going to let this guy keep playing baseball? He said it was I mean, we know that the interpreter's taking the fall for this. Ohtani is not innocent. He didn't. He's not sitting there bailing his interpreter out for gambling debts.
Right.
They was using him as a middleman, and so that guy takes the fall. But Pete Rose is going, hey, I've been banned. Is he going to be banned?
Jeez. I still.
So, all right, let me ask you a question. He just signed a $700 million contract, which is the largest of all time in any sport. You got to gamble. What are you gambling, man?
Just give your interpreter money. Just give it to him.
$700 million?
Yeah, give him a couple
And look,
million.
I understand people with an addiction. I don't know that Shohei Ohtani has an addiction, but, I mean, if you're gambling and there's some things and people are starting to trace games back to when bets were made with that particular bookie in Florida, and there was one game where a bet was placed that the Atlanta Braves would score 6+ runs, and Shohei Ohtani happened to be pitching that night, who, of course, we know how great he was, a pitcher he is, and a dynamic hitter. He gave up 7 runs, and he struck out 3 times against, and he never strikes out.
Right.
And the Braves won the game, and Braves cleared, but it was like $1 million bet that the Braves would score, and nobody would take that bet, knowing Shohei Ohtani's on the mound and hitting. That he's in the lineup to hit and he's pitching. Like, the Braves aren't going to score 7 runs, and then he did it off of him.
Right.
So it's like, did he throw? I mean, they're going back and say, did he throw that game?
Sounds like it.
I mean, but you talk, kind of the theme of tonight so far has been greed.
Right. Oh,
and how much can you give me and all that?
Right.
I mean, a man that's going to make $700 million over 10 years. You gotta gamble, man. Even if I had a gambling problem, I'd figure out a way to lose it.
Right.
Because what else are you going? You don't need to gamble anymore.
You got your money. You don't need it. You don't need it.
So I mean, I'm a big memorabilia collector and baseball card guy.
Right.
So several guys I follow said, "Hey, you can roll the dice and get rid of your Shohei Ohtani stuff now, get what you can get for it, or you can hold on to it and hope they wipe it under the rug and he moves on and has a Babe Ruth type career, or you can hold on to it and lose your rear end. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
it's kind of like playing the stock market.
Right. I think his career will not be as good now as it would have been just because of this tainted.
Yeah, I watched the video. Yeah. John just put on. He just made a comment. I saw Pete Rose said, "Man, I wish I'd have had an interpreter back then." He said, "I'd been scot-free."
Atlanta has an interpreter. The guy.
Well, yeah, for Acuna and all those guys.
Yeah. He's like, "Where's my money?"
Acuna's like, I ain't giving you no money.
He spends all his on gold chains.
That's right.
Yeah.
Roger said, "Do you think someone can go and wire money out of your account without you knowing it?" Absolutely not. I mean, to me, Major League Baseball knows how important Shohei Ohtani is and how much money's tied to him with the Dodgers. They're going to sweep this under the rug.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
They're just going to sweep it under the rug.
Greed and politics.
If you're that naive to think that a guy making that much money doesn't know what his doesn't know what his interpreter's doing.
Right.
I'm sorry.
How do you interpret that?
He interpreted it as you think everybody's stupid.
Can we say I'm gonna call BS on that?
He said I couldn't understand. He said I didn't know what they were talking about. I thought I was giving that money to charity.
Yeah.
That guy was giving it to a bookie.
We're on TV, but I'm gonna call BS on that one.
Yeah, no doubt. But we'll take a break. But anyway, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there right now. Again, we don't really dive into pro sports a lot on this program, but man, you got to cover that. You got to talk about that. It's 7. It just baffles me. I can understand if this guy's making the league minimum and he's trying to up his ante and trying to bet on the team or whatever. But dang, man, you the highest paid athlete of all time.
Right. He wasn't like
is it worth the risk?
He wasn't like a baseball coach, that's trying to make some NIL money.
Yeah, no kid. Yeah, we know about that, don't we? Bohannon, wish he had.
Yeah.
Said, "Look, I don't care. You're going to fire me for losing games, but you're not going to fire me because I'm trying to raise money for another kid."
Yeah, I know it.
So he's trying to get Paul Skeens.
Right.
Man, it didn't. LSU got him.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And he lost his job.
Yeah.
All right, up against the break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
It's truck season at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful full-size and fully loaded Chevrolet Silverado LTZ, discounted up to $11,000 off, or the roomy midsize 3-row SUV, the Chevy Traverse, discounted up to $7,750 off, and the perfect size Chevy Equinox up to $7,750 off. No payments until summertime. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live here on this Tuesday. If you see the logo on the screen, it's Jacksonville State down there, one of our partners here. They're up on Auburn right now, 3-2. So let's go to the phone lines. Eric McKinley, Mortgage Pro Hotline. What's up, caller?
Yes.
What's up?
What was the question?
I didn't have a question. I said, welcome to the show.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What you got for us?
Well, I'll make a comment on Auburn basketball.
Shoot, go ahead.
So I'm a Alabama fan, has been, always will be. But for 4 years, I was an Auburn basketball fan. That was, I think, was late '90s when Doc Robinson played for them. Do you remember Doc Robinson?
Very, very well.
Well, I worked with his dad. We worked together. And he'd give us chicken. I'd go watch Doc play a lot. And I followed him, all the way through his career. And, I think at one time Auburn might have got to number one Doc's senior year.
They were very close. I know number two. I know in '99, Auburn went to the tournament. They were a number one seed. Got put out in the Sweet 16 by Ohio State, and then 2000, Auburn had a really good year, and he led that team. And Kentucky came in. I think Kentucky had beaten us 13 or 14 consecutive times, and we ended up winning that game. He had a three late in that game to win that game.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't in the tournament. That was just regular season, right?
That was just regular season, right? Correct.
Well, I was at that game because his dad, Randall, got us tickets, and we went over and watched Auburn beat Kentucky. I was over that night.
That was that game. That was for sure that game.
Yeah, that was Damian Fishback.
Yep.
And there was one kind of real tall guy. I can't remember his name.
Mac McGadney. You talking about Mamadou Njai?
Yeah, I did, because after the game, Randolph was taken down to meet all the players. Well, you in high school, Doc, from Selma, Alabama, they won the state championship. When his dad, Randolph, was at Selma, they won the state championship. You knew that or not?
Well, he was a good player, man. We were glad to have him.
Yeah, because like I said, I
played at Selma.
I followed Auburn basketball for those 4 years and went to a lot of his games.
Well, we appreciate you calling and giving us that memory.
Okay, and you just say something a while ago. You used to save baseball cards.
I'm just a big collector. Always have been.
Yes, I grew up I'm a lot older than you. I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I take my allowance. I got $1 a week allowance. I take my allowance and buy most all them top baseball cards.
But you don't have a 52. You don't have a 52 Mickey Mantle laying around, do you?
He can hear you.
You there with us?
Oh, yes.
I asked you, do you have a 52 Mickey Mantle laying around?
Well, no, but what happened. So I went in the Army, and I had shoe boxes just full of baseball cards. I don't know what my mama did while I was gone.
Wow.
I had Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays.
You do know if you'd have had a perfect condition Mickey Mantle 52, it would probably be worth about $30 million right now.
I don't know about it. I'd probably be a millionaire if I still had all those.
I just told you you'd be at least 30. So, hey, we appreciate your call, brother.
Yeah, enjoy your show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, a perfect 10, 52 Mantle. You heard the story about why 52 tops are so rare? Well, coming out of, Tops made that set, and nobody was buying cards back then. They were selling them for 2 cents a pack, whatever. Right. They overproduced them, and they just didn't take it. So all these department stores and all that sold cards shipped all the cards back to Tops. They gave them a refund. They put them on a cargo ship and sent them out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and threw them off. Just because they were taking up space in the warehouse and didn't need them. Nobody wanted them. So there you go. That's why they took a bunch of them out. And so
a few left.
That's it. That's kind of how things become rare, you know. How many 52 Mantles went overboard? But if they had all those in circulation, it might not be worth as much.
They wouldn't be worth as much.
Hey, here's some more breaking news on Ohio State. 4-star wide receiver Javon Boggs has now decommitted from Ohio State. He's been committed since October. If Downs leaves, Quinshon Judkins leaves, this star-studded team at Ohio State, what's going on up there right now? Ryan Day,
don't know. It's all money.
They seem to be hightailing out.
I know, but it's all money. Somebody else is paying them more money. That's all it is.
That's amazing. You just never know, man. Things looking up like Ohio State had the best all-season portal and top recruiting class, and now it looks like it's disintegrating right before their eyes. So, anyway, we're going to take another break here on Sports Blitz Live. Get your calls in, 256-234-6221. Only have a few segments left here on tonight's show, so make sure you give us a call.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, like this powerful all-new GMC Sierra 1500 SLT, now available with up to $13,000 off. Purchase the roomy GMC Terrain SLT discounted up to $8,750 off, and the GMC Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive discounted up to $7,000 off. Enjoy no payments till summertime at Glenn Smith GMC. Over 350 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way.
Get ready to smile.
I'm trying to keep Scott awake over here,
Wake
man.
me up. Hey, man, I'm old.
We need to daggum get you a energy boost or something.
I'm drinking.
That ain't working. Drinking liquor don't work.
I know.
It does. That's why you yawning. That's why you yawning over here. But anyway, you know, again, a little bit of news. I think it's worthy of saying because 168 years they've been in this state. Birmingham Southern, no more after May 31st.
Yeah.
Went to the legislature to ask for another loan. There's $30 million. Funding from the state, $5 million from the city of Birmingham, and considered a $2.5 million request from the county government. You know, I think, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, they just received money either last year or year before.
Last year.
I don't know how much
the story
it
I
was.
read was $30 million last year they got.
So they asked for another 30.
Yeah.
And, you know, the money would have been just enough to keep the school running. But, I mean, look, they're private school. The tuition's expensive. And nobody wants to see something that historic close. But, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Just keep dumping? I mean, at some point in time, you can't keep bailing everything out, man.
My question is, now, you get these students, they're going to have to transfer somewhere. So will their classes transfer? Well, and then what will they do with all those,
they were accredited.
those facilities?
Well, they were accredited.
Yeah, but
so
all
I mean,
those facilities, all those coaches, all those players, they got all those. You know, what was young man that graduated with Linden, Apprentice Gunn? He went and played football.
Well, there's a lot of people that have.
Yeah.
Hey, they've got a signing class that they just signed.
I know.
And they're going to those guys that were hoping to continue playing college football not going to do anymore.
Right.
So, you know, I don't really know. I mean, again, I think the mayor came out and said he was disappointed, and I get all that. And look, I feel sorry. I had a cousin that went to Birmingham Southern, and you know, she did really well, and went to med school, and but just I don't know how much you can just continue to pour money into something that's showing obviously it can't pull itself out of the hole.
Well, they need some, if they're going to stay open, which they're not now, but they need someone to come in there that has a business background that knows how to run a business.
Right.
And because obviously they're not strong financially, they're not being led financially strong. They need leadership.
And there's a lot of schools out there that face that. I mean, you know, we're kind of spoiled with Auburn and Alabama. You got plenty of money. Yeah, it seems like you just print money.
Right.
But, you know, smaller schools, look, it's a battle in the legislature every year for community colleges.
Yes.
I mean, you look at from a situation of, you know, there's 24 of those throughout the state of Alabama, and they have to rely on a lot of state funding. But, you know, they also know they're in business. They have to go out and they have to get students. And, you know, the enrollment has been increasing in community college, and it's affordable. Yeah. It's a good bargain. You can get a lot of great, you know, you can get transferred to a 4-year college. You can get a 2-year degree there and go to work. There's a lot of options maybe that a school like Birmingham Southern doesn't give you, like the community college system gives you.
You know,
so,
exactly.
All right, John said, have there been any further developments about Caleb Downs leaving Ohio State? I've heard about that, and then more about if more about it if it's only the rumor mill or not. So again, right now there's nothing for certain. He kind of took all the indicators on social media down that he's at Ohio State. I mean, he may be leaning to coming back to Alabama. That's a big pick back up for Kalen DeBoer. Hey, there's a lot of people that feel like Nick Saban's still working the behind the scenes on this
recruiting
recruiting
conversation today. He's still in the building.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, he's still.
Look, I'm not saying I don't know enough about Kalen DeBoer to pass judgment.
Right.
But I'm telling you, there was a lot of mass exodus.
Right.
And I think Nick Saban is staying around just for now to say, look, you can come give the guy a chance. You know, I'm going to be here through. I think that ship's going to sail soon for Nick Saban. I don't think he's going to be hanging around much longer.
No.
I mean, I think he's trying to say, I'm going to help you through this transition, but I'm about to turn the keys over.
Yeah.
So you may not be able to tell this year about the truth of what Kalen DeBoer can do and what his recruiting is. But, I mean, that leads me to believe that there's a lot of Nick Saban influence still going on.
Well, if you're the new coach, you kind of want him gone, don't you?
Not if he's pulling these recruits back in for you.
I know, but
no, I mean you want to be able to pave your own path, but you know what? You walked into a situation where it's going to be hard to win as far as win your fan base over. He lose 3 games.
Oh, he's done.
I mean, the fan base will have a
buyout clause.
Have a daggum meltdown. I mean, I talked to Gary Harris. I'm on his show every Friday, and he and I talk frequently. And he said, "Look, man, nobody realizes up here how good we've had it until he's going to be gone." And then when Nick Saban made it official, he said, "I'm telling you, Brett." He said the next guy, and that was before DeBoer he was even hired. He said he's got a monumental task, almost an impossible task to follow up. And you know, we saw Ray Perkins follow Bear Bryant. We saw Ron Zook follow Steve Spurrier. It don't work out a lot of times.
This guy that's at Duke right now. I mean, he's doing pretty well.
He's doing pretty good, but he's following Mike Krzyzewski.
I know it. I mean, how in the world are you going? You know, he's been under the gun a little bit this year. He lost some games he shouldn't have, but he's doing well right now. But you let him lose.
Well, he's got Houston now, so
8 or 9 games last year and next year, and you know, it's just hard.
It's expectations from a fan base. It's been, hey, for Alabama, you got 17-year-old kids that have never known anything but Nick Saban in Alabama.
Right.
And I saw a guy on another show say, well, that's a bunch of trust fund fans.
Yes.
Those kids don't even know what reality is.
No.
They've never witnessed anything but – so it's like being a trust fund baby. You're a trust fund fan. I mean, all you do is win championship. All you do is expect to win it all every year.
You're entitled almost. All those coaches that followed Bear Bryant and all those other guys, you know, I bet they wish they'd had buyout clauses like these coaches have.
John, I'm on Tide 100 every Friday at 10:30, usually around the 10:30 mark with Gary on his show. I call in to do the Auburn report for him. He's the #1 Alabama sports talk show in Tuscaloosa. So Gary and I have been friends for a while, and always honored to jump on with him and talk about Auburn up in the Tuscaloosa area for the lone Auburn fans in that area that are there. Well, I get a lot of feedback, compliments from people that text me and stuff saying they appreciate that segment up there. And I mean, again, me and Gary, we kind of shoot it straight. You know, we try to take our glasses off and talk, you know, even keel about both of our teams.
Right,
and Tide 100.7, I think, is the actual radio stations. It's just, you know, got a great show up there, and I've been on that program on Fridays for about 5 years now, at least 5 years now. So be on there this Friday. Won't be talking about a lot of positive stuff about Auburn's basketball program, but we'll talk a little bit about the football spring practice that's going on, and baseball will be underway. You're welcome, John. Tune in. Gary's a great guy.
If they win, you'll be talking about Alabama basketball Friday morning.
Well, yeah, exactly. He won't be talking about that with me. We might have a glance and blow, but I usually spend my 20 minutes.
What time's that game again? Thursday night?
Did I say 6 6:09, 6:39.
Later than that. Okay.
Oh, well.
See, I don't like the late night.
Well, the way
games.
you're yawning, you won't be up anyway. So let's see.
It's 8:30.
I mean, come on, man, suck it up, Buttercup.
I know.
8:39, you'll be in the bed. So.
I won't ever see the end.
You'll never see. You'll be seeing the back of your eyelids. So, let's take a break here so Scott can take a 3-minute nap, and we'll be back with you when we come back.
OGS Tournaments presents Crank for Bank. Win over $1.6 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 75 tag crappie are waiting to be caught by you in Lake Martin. Register now online at crankforbank.com for only $120. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or the shores of Lake Martin to win over $1.6 million in cash and prizes. It's Crank for Bank.
There's a new standard for the marine industry on Lake Martin, being set by Momentum Marine Lake Martin. Momentum Marine is located at the Blue Creek Bridge on Highway 49 South. Stop by soon and meet Les and the staff. While you're here, take a look at our extensive line of boats. Momentum Marine carries Crest, Manitou, Centurion, Monterey, and Robalo boats. Whatever your boating needs or dreams, the pros in Momentum will help you find the perfect boat. Be sure to ask about our brand new rental fleet. Stop by Momentum soon and experience the difference. Let Momentum Marine show you how to experience freedom on the water.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
OGS Tournaments presents Crank for Bank. Win over $1.6 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 75 tag crappie are waiting to be caught by you in Lake Martin. Register now online at crankforbank.com for only $120. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or the shores of Lake Martin to win over $1.6 million in cash and prizes. It's Crank for Bank.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Here, a couple segments left in tonight's show. Again, you can call us 256-234-6221. The meat grinder that's the SEC in every sport, but in baseball, man, good Lord. I mean, it's tough sledding. And you look at the standings right now in the SEC. And, you know, Auburn started off the season really good in SEC play. They're 1-5. And again, they've lost 4 one-run games, Scott.
We beat the number 1 team yesterday, though. Was it yesterday? Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, we're Tuesday.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't listen today again, did you?
No, I hadn't lost
Okay, yeah, all right. So I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, but Auburn and Alabama at the bottom of the league. Alabama's 2-4, Auburn's 1-5, but Auburn's been in really close games.
And they're not bad teams.
Well, they played the number 1 team in the country.
I know.
To 2 one-run games.
I know.
Lost 2 one-run games, and then won a 8-6 game on Sunday. But if you look at this league, I mean, right now in the West, Auburn's 1-5, but they're only 2 games out of second. Texas A&M's 3-3. Mississippi State's 3-3. Ole Miss is 3-3. LSU and Alabama's 2-4, and we're 1-5. We could easily be 2-4.
Right.
Arkansas is 5-1. The only loss was to us.
I know.
So then you go up to the East, and the whole thing's flipped on its head. Kentucky's in first at 5-1. South Carolina and Florida's 4-2. Tennessee and Georgia and Vanderbilt are all 3-3, and Missouri's 1-5. But this is just a gruesome league. Texas A&M was undefeated heading into conference play. Got beat the first series of the year, and 2-3, so they lost their first 2 games. But this is what we've become in this league. I mean, all the top talent in the country, it comes to the SEC. So every team on any given week can win. Auburn finished the season last year, Scott, 12-3 coming down the stretch. You don't do that in this league.
Nope.
It's one of the hottest teams in the country. And then you look at what Alabama's done with their new coach. There's 18-6, but, they'd only lost 2 games coming into SEC play. Now they've lost 4. It's every week, man. Right. And Auburn's got to go to Texas A&M this week. It don't get easier, man. Then the next home series will be Tennessee coming in. So just a meat grinder. We did say earlier, I know I saw a comment about Mickey Dean for Auburn. Going to be stepping down at the end of the season. I think it was time, Scott, for him to exit stage left. And, again, can you believe he's been there 8 years?
It's hard to believe that.
Has it been 8?
He's been wearing that brown leather hat for 8 years.
What, that brim hat? That straw hat?
It'd be 98 degrees out there, and he's going.
But it's leather. It is leather. I know, but it's like that kind of hat, though, isn't it?
But it's leather. I'm like,
what does he think? He's Indiana Jones?
Dude, how do you wear that hat in this heat?
Well, anyway, I think it's been a shame because Matty Penna's been one of the best pitchers ever.
Right.
Had 800 strikeouts.
Right.
They kind of wore her out last year, and they've been riding her a lot this year. And,
right.
She's won a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games.
Right.
If they didn't have her, I mean, I know you're looking at a record that's 15-9. It'd probably be 9-15 without her. But the softball, gymnastics, swimming and diving, baseball, football, basketball, women's and men's. What sports SEC? Not but golf. Auburn's number 1 in the country. Alabama's at the top. Vanderbilt's up there.
I know.
I mean, everything
equestrian
is so hard in this league.
Doesn't matter what you're doing.
That's right. Every sport.
And it seems like when we get a leg up, our cousin across the state does the same.
Well,
thing,
it goes back to Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl. Auburn gets Bruce Pearl. Alabama's coming off Anthony Grant and Mitch and Avery Johnson. And Auburn finally lands, a great basketball coach has turned his program around, and Alabama goes out and gets Nate Oates from Buffalo. And, man, I hate to say it, he's been maybe a hair better than Bruce the last 4 years. Not a lot, but just a little bit more.
Right.
Both have won 4 SEC titles.
Right.
And
we beat each other up at home.
That's right. So, we kind of held serve there.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it's – but, it's like, hey, we're fishing to get one up, and, lo and behold, they go out. And, look, credit Nate Oates. He came from Buffalo. Everybody was like, I don't know about this guy. And
he's done pretty well.
And he's done outstanding. So, moving forward, who's your Final Four in basketball? Well, I know we only have a few minutes left tonight, so I'll help you. I'll help you with this.
I have to look at the brackets because I get confused on who is where, but I'm saying Purdue's going to be in there.
Purdue, okay. Houston is also, I think.
Yeah.
Think Arizona survives?
Yeah, UConn.
Yeah. I think it's UConn, Arizona on one side and Purdue, Houston on the other.
Yeah, could be.
I've got UConn winning it all.
Yeah.
So UConn go back to back.
Right.
One of the Hurley brothers. So,
how does he do that up there? We have all this hype and so much fun at Auburn games, and we got these great players. How does he do it there and we don't do it here, or we don't do it at Alabama, or we don't do it at LSU, or how does he do it at UConn?
Because UConn's always been a really good program.
So that's their history.
Well, and we're building one.
Right.
You know, we're still relatively young, but I mean, we're approaching a decade of being pretty dang good.
Oh, yeah.
Being a top 15 program.
Yeah.
Getting good players.
You take out Bruce's first 3 years, and
well, he inherited a dump.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You take that.
That wasn't his fault. I'm just saying.
Right. His record's way better.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, again, averaging 22 to 24 games a year.
Right.
Never thought I'd say that. Basketball used to be a thing that you pass time to get to the next football season. So
see, that's always been my favorite sport, and I've always
but you know as well as I do, and I'll have to admit this. Growing up in the 90s, all my buddies, Auburn and Alabama pretty much sucked. So we were either a North Carolina or a Duke fan.
Oh, heck
so
yeah.
the half my buddies were North Carolina fans. That's me. Been a North Carolina. Look, and I just pulled for North Carolina because they play in Alabama Thursday. Everybody knows me. Knows I've been a North Carolina fan for a long time.
Raising my boy,
I hate Duke.
We used to take Michael and David Dunlap. When they were little, we'd go to the SEC tournaments.
Yeah.
And they would be in an SEC tournament, and both of them had North Carolina jerseys.
Well, because they wanted to pull for a winning program.
Right, they wanted to play for them.
You know, so you were, of course, an Auburn fan, kind of in the shadows. But if you were really going to be a college basketball fan, you had to pull for somebody that was going to actually do something. Yeah. So I was a big Michael Jordan fan. Yeah. So naturally, I'm a Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace and Eric Montross. And, you know, then you got all the pricks and at Duke, Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, and Cherokee Parks. And, you know, dadgum Grant Hill, and everybody just seemed like they were up.
I liked Grant Hill. I don't know how you got into all that, but, you know.
I didn't like anything that put a Duke jersey on.
I didn't
also,
like
let me tell you who else I liked, too, growing up was UNLV.
Oh, heck yeah.
Tart.
The Running Rebels.
Dadgum Larry Johnson, Stacey Augman.
Yeah.
I mean, crap, man.
That was Cindy's favorite team.
Loved UNLV. Still got my UNLV hat and stuff from back in the day.
I saw Jerry Tarkanian in the Auburn, in the Beard Ease Coliseum.
We played
them on a Sunday afternoon in 1987.
Win or lose.
We got beat. It was on ABC. Dick Vitale was there calling the game.
How about that?
Dick Vitale went out and hit like 10 free throws in a row between the girls' game and the guys' game. But Tarkanian walked into the.
Did he have his towel?
Oh yeah. He came out during the girls' game, and it was like the mafia. He had these 2 or 3 ladies around, and they were all decked out in the makeup and this is Auburn, and they had furs on. It was cool. It was wintertime, but it wasn't cold.
Right.
And he sat there and watched that girls' game. Then he came out for the guys' game, and he sucked on that towel the entire time.
He'd always bite on that towel.
Yeah, they beat us, but it was a good game. Well, that's when we had Frank Ford and Jeff Moore and Chris Morris. And
John wanted me to say I need to start standing up and wear a tank top like Goofy Pat. No, McAfee. No, John, I won't be wearing anything like that. He said I need to do that to keep you awake.
Yeah.
So he's just going to have to go to sleep. Man, Auburn exploded 13-3 now in the 5th.
See, they heard us talking about it.
I did.
Yeah.
They were down 3-2.
Yeah. They said Brett and Scott are talking about
that's
us.
That's it. Roger said softball's the same way. Look at LSU. No doubt. Tony said Purdue, Houston, Arizona, and Iowa State. Yeah. Cyclones winning the chip over Houston in the championship game. So.
We haven't even talked about LSU's girls coach. I mean,
I mean, she's something else. She
jumped a fireball.
On the Washington Post writer.
Oh yeah, she's gonna sue him. Said she's gonna sue him.
You know what? I'm all for standing up for. Now, the guy said he's been trying to contact her for 2 years.
Right.
And she keeps blowing him off, and so she's saying, "I'm in the middle of this term and I ain't got time for you." So I ain't getting in that, but she's a fireball, no doubt.
Contact her in July.
Yeah. Roger said kids don't leave early at UConn. That's why they stay 4 years. That's why they're good.
Well, that's a trend right now. All the teams that are winning, they got older kids.
No doubt. That's what knocked Alabama out last year's the San Diego State team.
Right.
Had a bunch of veterans on there. Right. John said just keep doing what you do in SEC with a few tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, dominant in every sport. Really.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it used to be the Pac-12 in softball. Arizona State, UCLA.
Right.
Shoot, not anymore. I mean, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, Auburn the last several years.
Did we mention tennis? How are we doing in tennis?
I think Auburn's in the top 10.
I think we are.
I mean, always Florida, Georgia, always got great programs.
Right.
So up against the final break of the show, one final segment coming up right after this.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Fill your tank, not your wine glass. What? Why is there a wine glass in your car? Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, final segment here on the program. Hey, speak of the devil, we watched a guy just open a pack of 52 tops. It was unopened, and they were looking for that Mickey Mantle. Not there.
Not there.
But some good cards in there. So only 5 in the pack. Let's go back one final time to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. Welcome in, caller.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up?
Good.
Mr. Pritchard, I agree with you about Gary Harris. I'm up here in the Tuscaloosa, Northport area, and I listened to his radio show, and I enjoy it. But I just called his Tuesday night call-in show earlier and asked him a question he couldn't answer, so maybe you guys can help me with it.
I hope I can. I can give him heck on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, in the game against Grand Canyon, the Grand Canyon players were wearing NBA jersey numbers, like number 7 was a number 9. I think I saw a number 27, and that's not allowed in college basketball. I thought you could only wear digits 1 through 5, but I'm seeing these guys wearing NBA jersey numbers, and I asked the question, if they can wear it, why can't Alabama wear these jersey numbers? And he had no answer for it.
You're talking about a combination, even a combination like a, even if it's all got to be 1 through 5. Zero.
In college, the rule is it's got to be the digits 1 through 5. So,
but you could have call
a foul on a player using one hand.
Yeah,
I don't know why it is, but
you can have 50.
I mean, you can wear a number 5, but you can't wear a number 6. You can have a number 55 jersey, but you can't have a number 59 jersey. You know what?
I don't think I've ever realized.
I've never heard that before.
Well, yeah. Look on Auburn players. You never see a number 6 or number 7 or number 8.
You
it's all 1 through 5s or 0 through 5s. Because that's been a rule for as long as I've been watching college basketball, and that goes back to the first year that Wimp Sanderson was hired in Alabama. I've never seen a college player wear a number 6 or 7 on his jersey until the other night when they were playing Grand Canyon. And by the way, everybody's giving Nick Pringle grief about getting the technical for breaking the clipboard.
Yeah.
Did you see how many times he got clubbed in the head and guys hanging off of his neck? Every time there was a rebound, at least 5 times he got fouled over the back, and he was never called.
Well, the officiating has lacked a lot to be desired in a lot of games here in the tournament, in the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. And I'll tell you this, I think, officials can dictate what gets out of control later in the game by not calling things early in the game. And, then it can fester to a boiling point where it's a guy finally's had enough and he takes a swing at somebody or whatever.
Right.
Officials have to – I know they're tasked with a tough job and they're humans like all of us and they're going to make mistakes, but I've seen some really poor calls and some really just allowing things to go on that should be called, and it just makes you – scratch your head and you wonder about the quality of officials all the way around.
Well, you have taught us something new tonight.
I guess I've
give a prediction for the North Carolina game. I'll say North Carolina wins 88-86 in overtime.
Wow.
That'll be a good game.
Big time game there. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
Hope I can stay up.
He won't be. Don't worry. He'll be asleep. He'll catch a headline. He'll catch a headline the next day.
I thought about coming on with some big outrageous lie to wake him up with, but I didn't want to do that to him.
That wouldn't work either. Hey, we appreciate your call, brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'll see y'all later.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Look, man, sometimes you get stumped. I don't guess I knew that.
So I've learned a lot tonight. I've learned that Francis Scott Key.
34.
And I've learned that Francis Scott Key wrote the song up there where that bridge was.
The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
I know it.
In Baltimore.
And I've learned that you can't wear jerseys with 6 or higher number on them.
That's crazy, isn't it?
In college.
Yeah. I mean, think of an Auburn player. Think of, I look all the way back to Bryant Smith. He wore 13.
Yeah.
Chris Porter wore 4. Dot Robinson wore 50.
Yeah. Barkley 34. Chris Morris wore 34.
Yeah, I mean, anybody you can think
Vicky
of?
Orr was 50.
That's, I guess so, man. Who else? I mean, I guess Alabama's the same way.
So is that for the referees that can go 1-5 or 0-5?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Instead of going.
Well, because if you do a 6 and a.
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Katie Johnson was 0.
Yeah.
Aiden Holloway 1. Trey Donaldson 3. Broom 4. Moore 5. Bacon Mazar 10. Denver Jones 12. C.J. Williams 13. Presley Patterson 14. Sabera was 20. Blake, is it Mushalek? It's 21.
Like yep.
Reed Trapp 22. Adarian Scott 23. Leor Berman 24. Chaney Johnson 31. Lucas Clanton 33. Haston Alexander 42. Dylan Cardwell 44. And Jalen Harper 55. That answers that question, doesn't it?
Well, here's Grand Canyon's roster. Let's see what they got now. Well,
we got 2 minutes.
We'll just keep talking.
Your phone doesn't work. I was on point. What's going on with your? Do I need to pull that up?
They don't have their numbers.
Yeah, they do.
No, yeah, they're up there too.
Can't see anything. He's asleep, everybody.
The first player didn't have a number.
What are the numbers?
6, 7, 8.
They're already out.
Yeah, they're out already. 12, 21, 22, 24, 30, 33. They had 3 players out of out of those. Yeah.
That's just odd, man.
Well, if they had won, that guy we should.
It's Roger, our official there.
Yeah.
We should have leaned on him on this.
He said anything?
He said, "Yeah, you can't wear a number higher than 5 in high school or college."
Well, Grand Canyon did. Roger.
Well, they are illegal.
I know it. Roger, you're a Bama fan. You should have picked up on that already.
Well, I mean, they didn't need to. They beat them anyway.
They beat them anyways.
John's got a bunch of snooze emojis by your name on there. We're out of time.
Good seeing
Hey,
y'all.
he might run off the road going home. I might have to follow him.
I only have a quarter of a mile to go.
I mean, that's a long way for you right now. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Again, thanks to everybody that joins us. I'll have to mention that to Gary. I'm saying, man, we had to call. You had to call. I couldn't answer. You couldn't answer it.
I know. A guy called us from Tuscaloosa.
That's exactly. We had somebody from Milwaukee, Wisconsin the other day.
Wow.
So, I mean, we kind of get viewers and callers from everybody. I had somebody the other day walk up to me in a concert and said, enjoy watching the show. So, he was from Northport. Maybe the same one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's going to wrap it up, Scott. You can go home, go to bed. We're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Auburn Blitz.